Welcome. Today is Monday, June 10th. Kyle from Arbor Brewing is in the house. Let's get after it.
3, 2, 1.
This is the Matt and Muse Show with Matt Hensler and Adam Musinski.
The Eagle has landed.
Welcome. Dude, what's up?
Hey.
Hey.
Excited to be here.
Good. Obviously, as all can see, Matt is not here again. But we got Kyle from Arbor. What's up, dude?
What are you talking about? It is Matt. I just lost weight and changed my voice.
And looked a lot better.
I didn't say that.
I did. I'm not afraid to. Oh, that's funny. No, we got Kyle in the house from Arbor. We're going to talk some mushrooms and camping and some fun outdoors things, and nothing sports related, but that's okay.
Yeah. Well, we're about ready to move into the summertime in Michigan, which is a very short window, but a very cherished time.
So it's like, what, 3 months?
Yeah,
maybe?
if that. No, you really get like a 1 month.
Spread out, like chopped up.
Yeah. Because there's like weddings that you have to go to and, kid birthday parties or whatnot that you have no interest in actually attending. But so your actual like window of opportunity to do things with your friends and family on your own terms is very short.
Right? Hey, that's okay. It happens.
Yeah. So you got to plan and, make the best of it.
Yeah, whatever. Plan. Story of everyone's life, right?
Yeah.
Cool. All right. We got a question on the podcast out there right now. Tacos or pizza? And this is coming down to it, dude. Like, we're like within a vote of each other. So if you're watching live on Facebook right now, please keep chiming in. We need the votes. I don't have a pen, but I will try and keep track as best I can.
Got a phone here.
Yeah, there we go. We can keep track some way or another. But we have the votes until this point, so keep chiming in. Tacos or pizza? What do you prefer? This is the closest vote we've ever had. We are literally, one of them is leading by 1 point right now. So,
Which one?
you'll find out later in the show, man. Come on.
Just trying to build some suspense.
Yeah, you got to have this.
It's good radio.
It's all, dude, this podcast.
I don't know what I'm doing.
You have no idea.
This is my first time you're popping my podcast cherry right now.
You've never been on a podcast?
No.
None,
ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel honored.
I wanted this to be the first one. I've had tons of offers. Everyone wants to pop my podcast
A whole
cherry.
4 people will listen to this.
Yeah. Well, you know what? This was special for me. So.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Well, while we pop your podcast cherry, tell us about some of these beers you brought. Because as my wife has so nicely displayed, we have 8 beers here waiting to be
we got a few.
consumed.
Might get thirsty.
You want to just go through all of them?
That'd be fun, right?
Let's do it. Just a little bit of each. I'm down. You got a glass? I got a glass?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
All right. So we should probably start with the cream ale. Not that one.
We have literally 8 beers sitting in front of us right now, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, and some of these 8 beers are in 32-ounce crowlers. So,
And we are going to drink all of them tonight.
every last drop.
So tomorrow, we will be very hungover.
Nonsense. We're professionals.
Yeah, that's true. We'll be fine.
Yeah,
We'll go to Tony's, get some breakfast. Everything will be all right.
I like it. So, the 3 crowlers for the people that are watching live on Facebook are from our brand new brewery, grand opening today in Plymouth.
Nice.
Plymouth, Michigan. It's our 3rd location. It's in the old Box Bar location, if anybody's familiar with that territory. But really cool old building that was split into 2 different businesses. Bigalora wood-fired Cucina, which is one of our partners' businesses. And then Arbor Brewing is on the other side of it. And we have a nice little pilot system there. So we're doing a lot of experimental beers there. the cream ale will be one of them, and then we got 2 different IPAs here.
Nice.
So yeah, really excited about that. We actually have two of our head brewers, our brew pub guy from Ann Arbor, Chris Davies, and then our production brewer, John Wagner, from the Ypsilanti location, that are both collaborating on and developing new recipes there. So we're excited about that new spot.
Nice. I'm excited to try this, man. Like, cheers, brother.
Cheers. Thanks for having me.
Oh, yeah. Always welcome. Especially since my co-host bailed.
What's that?
Especially since my co-host bailed. But yeah.
He's
That's-
doing what he has to do, I guess.
Yeah, no, I know. It's fine. It's fine. We'll be all right. No, that's easy drinking, man.
Yeah.
That's very easy drinking.
It's 5.3%, dry hopped with Nelson Sauvin, so it's named after Randy Savage.
Nice.
Savage Nelson.
Happens.
Yeah, our sell sheet on it's pretty intense. I guess is a good way to put it.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny. No, this is a good one. I like it. So you've been with Arbor then how many years? Tell me about it. Like you started
Yeah, almost
You
5
went-
years.
distributor side to the supplier side.
Yeah, so like you, I worked for a distributor local to Ann Arbor for about 4 years. Sold Arbor beer, sold a lot of the same brands you do, so we kind of share the same affinity for some of those Michigan brands that you sell at Fabiano. And then left the state for a couple years while the wife did her thing, and then moved back to the state and wanted to be with the supplier, I guess, after that when there was no spot to move right into in Ann Arbor at the distributor. So I knew Matt and Renee, the founders of Arbor, before through the distributorship, and thought it'd be a good fit, and it was. 5 years later, I'm still loving it,
Right. Nice.
having a good time, get to meet people like you and hang out and do fun things.
I'm okay to hang out with.
Yeah,
All right.
of course.
That's good. You
We
did
don't-
my dishes today. So that was
I did wash your
insane.
dishes. Yeah. Well, you fed me dinner, so it was the right thing to do.
He literally, he comes over today, and I got 2 kids, wife, whatever, and we're like, oh yeah, come over. We're making quesadillas. Comes in, like, all right, cool. Whip together a quesadilla. Here you go. And all of a sudden he's doing it. I'm like, dude, you don't got to do dishes. And you kept doing the dishes. I'm like, all right, I'll take it. You're welcome back whenever you want.
Thank you.
/ tomorrow.
Well, why was quesadilla the perfect dinner choice for tonight?
One, I thought you were going to want margaritas for lunch.
So you said Mexican on the brain.
Yeah, I already had Mexican on the brain, but we had Mexican the last couple of days. So I've been eating taco meat, and I always like to make a good amount of chicken during the week, just like making salads and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, we'll do some quesadillas too. And then like, oh, Kyle's coming down. It's a nice, easy thing to do.
It is. You don't want to be too involved when you have people over, and
Right.
You
Like
know.
you can throw up some chicken, cut up some vegetables, and there
See,
you go.
I thought it was more calculated than that, because quesadilla is basically like the perfect half and half between a pizza and a taco. So I thought that was like a perfectly planned like theme.
Wouldn't you then just do like a taco pizza?
No, because I think that's too much more in the taco or in the pizza's wheelhouse.
Okay.
Like some, I guess, could argue that you're bringing the pizza to the taco side in the case, but it's kind of half and half. I feel
Okay.
like the tortilla being the dough.
I like your
don't know.
thought. I like your thought process where you're going here.
Yeah,
It makes a lot of sense.
I could be
That was
overthinking it. That's what I do best. Is
You do overthink a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like how much gas you have in your car.
No, I underthought that, I think.
Little story time here. So, Kyle, myself, and Jake, who is also from Arbor and Might As Well USA, Might as well camp, might as well podcast.
You don't have to push this stuff too hard today.
I know he's not here. He
Yeah.
left, but it's okay. I understand why he left. He had things to do.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we get to lunch. Or we planned this lunch. I don't know, like 3 weeks ago. Hey, where we're gonna go? We're gonna go to lunch. We're gonna have a little meeting. We're gonna do what we gotta do, professionally, and make sure we get it all done. I'm like, all right, cool, awesome, great. So we go down, and Jake and I are sitting at the bar, and we're like, oh, where's Kyle? And it's like, oh no, he's on his way. He should be here in a minute now. And all of a sudden, you call Jake.
I'm usually pretty punctual.
Yeah. No, you are.
Fairly.
Yeah, within
Fairly.
a few minutes.
Yeah.
And you call Jake, and I'm sitting here at the bar, and Jake's sitting at the bar, and we're just like, Jake's looking at me, and he's like, oh, yeah, okay. Well, do you need us to come? Yeah, okay, all right, we'll be there in a little bit. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, all right, he blew out a tire, his car died.
You got a DUI
Yeah, right, like
noon.
something, like DUI at 1:30 in the
Bailing out of
morning or
jail.
something, or 1:30 in the afternoon. But then he's like, hey, we gotta go pick up Kyle. Like, what happened? He goes, he ran out of gas.
Like a 16-year-old.
How old are you?
Yeah.
Too old to run out of gas. That's all we need to know.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, I think I'm blaming it on the local construction closing a road. And the ramp that I used right before I ran out of gas. I timed it actually perfectly. But there was some road closures on that ramp. I had to get back on the highway rather than getting gas that was like,
At
I
the
was like
speedway
50
right
feet
there,
away from
yeah.
the speedway.
Well, you should have made it a priority to turn right. Can't you turn right off that entrance ramp?
I could, but then that would have made me like probably 20 minutes late for my lunch meeting with you guys. So I was thinking about just getting there. I'm like, dude, just get there. You're gonna be fine. I did start to sweat a little bit once I sat there at that stop sign on the exit ramp for, I'm not kidding you, like 25 seconds. Just like, can I make it?
No, as soon as
the answer was,
it was done.
Yeah, the answer was no. Whatever. It's fun.
That's funny. It's a good story.
Yeah.
I will give you crap about that for the rest of the episode.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's fair.
That's
actually.
fine. Whatever. It happens. Hey, we all have embarrassing things. I've never ran out of gas, surprisingly. Never. I've sputtered into a gas station here or there. But yeah, no, I've never the car I drive has a 16-gallon tank. I've put 16 gallons in it.
Mm-hmm.
But never have I found myself on the side of the road making a phone call.
Yeah, that was not my first time.
Okay.
It's happened before.
How many times has it happened?
Well, I don't know. It hasn't happened in probably 15 years. So I thought it was just, bulletproof.
So you're the one of the guys that, like, your tank gets to E and you're like, dude, I got this.
Yeah. I will say that it's probably happened once for every car that I've owned, pretty much. Because you gotta know. If I get into a terrible situation, or I don't know, I just like to know. And the only way to know is just running it all the way down.
Except when you're on the highway, there's no gas station.
Yeah.
You probably could have walked to that gas station behind you before we got to you and back.
That's probably true. Didn't think about that.
It happens. It's okay. We still love you.
Thank you.
I just got to give you crap about it now.
Of course.
It's all right.
Yeah.
Money. All right. Arbor Brewing. You've been with them for 5 years. Obviously, we've got some great brews here. We're going to continue trying throughout the show. About a year and a half ago, you guys made a transition that, in my mind, was key to the success of the brewery and key to staying with the market. I don't know how to say this. The market trends.
Yeah.
But that trend was moving to cans.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts on cans? As a sales rep, you don't have the most say. I'm sure at Arbor you have a decent say, but I mean, let's get your perspective on what have you seen in the market from going from bottles to cans and your perspective of it.
Well, the first thing is that the one thing I love about being with Arbor and that's kept me there and excited to work there is that it's a small team, and I'm not just handed down like the directive for the year to go tackle in whatever way I can or the exact way they tell me to do. I get a lot of input with the direction of like what brands we're putting out, and like I don't always win. Like sometimes I sell a beer that maybe is not my favorite, but for the most part, I get a lot of input on the look of the new packaging. Like all last year when we were rolling out new packaging for every single new brand, I got a lot of input. I at least got a voice.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
So like, and it wasn't just me. It wasn't just 3 people. It was, head brewer.
That's huge because there are breweries out there right now that are putting out new packaging that we see and get presented that doesn't make sense.
Misses the mark a little bit.
It does, and it's like they present you, hey man, look at this new package, and we all sit there like as retailers and as distributors, we're like that sucks, man. Like, why didn't anyone tell you that? And they're like, oh crap, we just spent X million into going into that.
It's definitely expensive, and it takes a lot of thinking and overthinking. And just, I don't know, looking at the shelf and seeing what pops, what doesn't pop, what makes sense. You want your brand to be noticed on the shelf with a lot of other...
Keep going.
Wait for it. Okay.
No, you're going. Keep going. Keep going. You're good. You're good.
With a lot of other brands on the shelf, and you just don't want to be lost. So, yeah, It was fun doing all that stuff, and we're excited to have the new packaging out. I've been asking for cans for, since I started, basically. It was like you could see the way that the future was going of craft beer and the packaging on it.
It's from a distributor side where I've seen a couple of people move from bottles to cans, and Arbor's my go-to, reason why is the growth just behind the motion from bottles to cans and wrapping them in boxes. Like everyone's like, oh, we're going to go to cans. Or we're going to go to loose cans. Like, no, just do it. Just do it and do it right. And I just show them the numbers that Arbor's had and kind of relay it to them as best I can without showing too much information, obviously. But it's like, dude, they're growing at enormous amounts because they just made the commitment to do it and do it right. Like, it's one thing to do it, but you guys have done it right the entire time, and that's what's awesome, and that's what I respect about you guys.
It takes a little extra investment to do the whole wrapped boxes, and without getting too nerdy about the industry.
Oh no, right.
But it does present a bigger billboard on the shelf when you're looking at it on the shelf in the store, and then you're also able to put a different UPC on the can as opposed to the box, so you can sell individually or by the pack, the whole 6-pack.
Exactly.
So it makes sense on a couple different levels. Yeah, it's an extra expense buying that box, but
you're seeing that return.
Yeah.
100%. It's right there.
Yep. So, which one did you crack here?
We cracked the
New England
Grand Excursion.
Yeah. So this is the New England IPA from the Plymouth Brew Pub on our new 7-barrel system out there. It's with Mosaic, Simcoe, and I'd have to look at the text from the head brewer. This is not a brand that I sell, so I don't look at the sheet.
No, you're good, man.
You're
fine.
So.
No, it's good. It's okay. I'll be honest with you. I'm not a huge New England drinker.
Me either.
I don't like New England's too often. I don't like New England. I don't like milkshakes.
Ugh, I hate milkshakes.
Yeah, I like this though.
Yeah, so we have a slightly different theory, I guess, on New England's or IPAs in general, like that not everybody is on board with. Maybe it's like an old man theory. Like we like IPAs to always taste like IPAs, like kind of old school IPAs or whatever. But we also like balance. So we don't like anything way out of balance, either way too bitter or way too fruity. We think that everything should have balance. Like, yeah, we love those fruit notes in the beer. We love really bitter, hoppy things, but it's also got to have some balance to it if you want to have it again and again. Otherwise, you're just going to be like, oh, man, I'm going to drink this one beer, and then my palate's done.
Right. That's my perspective on New England's. It's like, I can drink one, and it's like, dude, I'm either full or it just...
Full, yeah. That's what I get.
I feel like I can't drink anything beyond that. And that's the thing with this one. It's like, I get the New England flavor, but it doesn't wreck me. It doesn't fill me up or anything. That's I like it.
Yeah, we feel like the hazy part of the beer should be, there, but not completely opaque.
You're right, exactly. Like, you need to have the hazy effect there because that's what sells the beer, but at the end of the day, you don't need to be, like, just having a beer you can't see through. Like, as long as the flavor's there, that should be all that matters.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't drinking about flavor?
Yeah, not about look.
Okay.
You should educate the people on that.
Yeah, I try, but and it's to preference too. Like, I'm not hating on the people that love that.
Oh no, not at all.
Or the brewers that like to make that, because that's that's their expression of their art and things like that. So it's just personal preference. Like, I am almost 40, so I feel like I'm an old man with my what?
You're not almost 40.
Yeah, I am.
You're
37. It's almost 40.
BS. You're 37?
Yeah. You want to see my license right now, or what? Are you going to card me?
No, you're not 37. Ladies and gentlemen, he's 37. What the? Really?
Yeah.
I did not think you were that old.
Well, thank you.
Well, cheers to you and looking young, man.
I looked a lot younger last year.
When you were a year younger?
And before I got my face bit by a dog.
Yeah, happens.
Yeah.
Don't fight with dogs, man. They're nasty.
Didn't.
Huh? Shit happens when you're party naked, man. So, I'm going to let you nerd out here for a minute.
All right.
I know I've known you for probably 5 years, basically, since you've been with Arbor. First, hey, let's crack this beer real fast. This is what we're doing?
Yeah, we gotta move on these.
We gotta keep going on them. So, what's this one?
That one is the Anecdotal Truth. It's a 100% Michigan grown Chinook IPA. So Chinook being the hop varietal.
Chug your beer.
And talk at the same time.
Yep.
So Chinook is a really interesting hop. We've been harvesting Chinook from the Canton area for the last couple of years from the small family farm that we use in one small batch of beer. And we've noticed that the Michigan Chinook has a really nice peachy note to it that it doesn't have when it's grown in like Pacific Northwest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that's what makes this hop really fun for like growing on Michigan soil.
Ooh, that is good. I do get that, like, not necessarily citrus, but like you said, that peachy flavor.
Like
like
white
that.
peach.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's something
that's
that our head brewer John like pointed out to me when we were harvesting one year, and it's like, I really want to do like an all Michigan Chinook IPA just because of that really interesting note you get from it. So
Money.
Yeah.
All right. So, like I previously said, I've known you for 5 years, and one of the times we rode together selling beer, basically all Kyle did was point out trees that mushrooms were growing beneath, and the morel mushroom that in Michigan is a Michigan thing. I don't know. Maybe it's Northwest. I don't know. Wherever. But anyways, it's a thing that people go out and hunt and they grab and they cook, and I've had them. I think they're delicious. But
you have had them.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. Okay.
Please nerd out about them because I think it's very interesting how like what you love about talking about them. So go for it. I'm gonna give you the floor. Go for it, dude.
Yeah, I only got into it about, I don't know, like 6-7 years ago. Yeah, it was when my daughter was born, so 7 years ago.
Okay.
I wish I grew up like.
I thought this was like something. Yeah, I thought it was something you grew up with. The way how passionate you were.
Well, I was probably talking that passionately because I just started learning about it. So like that's all. Like when I get into something, like when it was craft beer, when it was whiskey, whatever. Like I spend a lot of energy on that one subject trying to just learn about it. Mm-hmm. And so I met some friends that helped me along the process quite a bit because I was always like, oh, mushrooms are cool, but wild mushrooms, you always hear about people dying, so wasn't that excited to get out there and die.
No?
No, not really. So, I don't know, but I guess what sold me on morels first was that there's not really any lookalikes that are going to kill you.
Right.
So that seems safe, like a safe place to start. So like when I first started hunting morels, it was like about 7 years ago, and I went out with some friends, found a couple. They were great, but then the next couple of years we spent like all day, like multiple days, just looking at the ground, walking slowly through the woods, and finding like two. And that wasn't really the way to do it, you know. Like so, like it really, the point where it changed for me when I started finding like hundreds, I guess. It was when a friend of mine was like, you have to learn your trees first, and like because they relate to trees.
That's what you've told me.
Yes. So the number one in this area is dead elm trees, and dead ash and poplar. So like there's three main trees. Like just get your tree identification down, and then you can just basically drive down the road, see them from a distance. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go look over there instead of just like staring at the ground, walking 0.2 miles per hour, with like getting your neck all sore and not finding anything. So,
right.
Yeah. So and there's a perfect time period where these elms are dying. Like if they're too dead, they're not producing. If they're not dead enough, they're not producing. So it's really when the elms, which are kind of vase shaped, for all the people that can hear me moving my hands.
He's moving his hands in a vase shape right now.
Yeah, it's my first time here. So.
It's a podcast. No one can see you.
Okay. Thanks for the reminder. So I'm going to be very descriptive. The tree branches are vase shaped. They are kind of curling at the top, like fingers almost. Am I painting a picture?
I know exactly what you're talking about because we've seen it so many times driving, and you're like, oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
That one right there. Yeah.
So, no, I know what you mean. It's like, again, I'm going to do the same thing you just did. It's like your hands are going up, but your fingers are starting to come in.
Yeah.
Kind of like this, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
For all those podcast people that are listening right now, like this. There you
Just
go.
like this.
Like basically like you're gripping a mango.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that should be like a mango. That's how you want your tree to look, like it's gripping a mango.
And the branches at the top are like kind of wispy. I guess that's how I describe it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Wispy.
So that's where you start. If you're a new mushroom hunter, start there, and then you can get in a little bit of the other stuff. Like I found some chicken in the woods yesterday.
I saw that.
Some coral mushrooms, which you don't want to eat coral mushrooms if they're terrestrial, or if they're growing out of soil.
Okay.
If they're growing out of a dead, fallen tree, you're good.
Why?
There's a bunch of different poisonous ones that grow out of the ground, terrestrial, as opposed to from trees. So to be safe,
I cut a tree down in my yard.
Yeah.
And I have mushrooms growing around it. Can I eat them?
I can't say that without seeing them.
God damn, I killed them. I just sprayed weed killer on them.
I mean, there's a lot of different mushrooms.
Right.
Mushrooms mostly grow on, they're decomposers.
Mm-hmm.
So they help things decompose.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly trees,
right?
Wood, but
which makes complete sense because I had no mushrooms until I cut down that tree.
Yeah. Yeah. Then you get like a flush of a couple years maybe, or just 1 year, where that happens. But yeah, I can't just say just go eat it. There's too many. There's too many kinds of mushrooms out there.
Before you leave tomorrow, we're gonna go look at those mushrooms. They're not there anymore.
Oh,
I cut them down.
It's too bad.
They might be. I don't know. We saw a lot of rain.
When in doubt, throw it out.
Is that the rule of thumb?
Yeah, for mushrooms.
Okay.
Yeah.
When in doubt, throw it out. Mel?
Yep.
That's the rule of thumb.
Oh.
No matter how crazy I get, when in doubt, throw it out. She probably thinks it about me. When in doubt, throw them out. I'm all right? I don't know. Awesome.
But yeah, there's like maybe 4 or 5 different kinds of mushrooms in Michigan that you can find that are pretty safe. Only have like 1 or 2 lookalikes that are not edible, but they won't kill you.
What are the best ones?
So the best ones,
in your opinion,
morels are still my favorite.
Yeah,
taste wise.
Murals and some frickin' butter on a frying pan.
You say murals?
Murals? How do you say it?
Morels.
Morels.
Morel.
Morels.
There we go. That's close.
Morels in a frying pan with a bunch of butter.
Yeah. With some onion. A little garlic.
I don't know, dude. We had no power at the time, and the first time I had them, actually, I was up north, And they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go hunt mushrooms." I'm like, "Cool." And all of a sudden, I was eating mushrooms. It was the first time I ever had them, and dude, they were fantastic. But they were doused in butter.
Yeah, that's the typical way to do mushrooms, like wild mushrooms, because
Okay.
sometimes they can be dry. So
Okay.
if you just get a lot of butter, you're gonna be safe.
So
Can't go wrong with
morels.
Morels. There we go.
Morels. Okay, what's next?
Chicken of the woods, bright orange shelf mushrooms, always growing on like dead oak.
You showed me one earlier, dude. The thing was like 2 feet long.
Yeah, they can be in like really big flushes all along like a massive log.
Mhm.
You can get easy 5 pounds in like on one tree.
Holy crap.
So it's a lot to process when you're trying to like cut them up,
Mhm.
save them, but they actually do taste like chicken.
BS.
And they do.
They taste like you got
The
mushrooms.
texture, yeah. The texture even, like, because they're dense, like more dense than like morels or oysters or coral mushrooms.
Huh.
Yeah. They're the texture and consistency and flavor even of chicken.
Interesting.
But also you need butter with it.
Well, dude, you need butter with everything. Dude.
Yeah.
I make eggs like once a month or whatever, like just like eggs over easy juice, is like pound the butter on there.
Mhm.
Like, oh yeah. Hash browns, pound the butter on. Dude,
Yeah.
You gotta do it. You gotta do it.
What else? Yeah, I said oyster mushrooms.
Mm-hmm.
That's another one. Also a decomposer, kind of a shelf thing that's growing on, always will be on dead trees, like fallen dead trees or standing dead trees. But there's not a lot. They're guild mushrooms. So like, you gotta like, people like to send me pictures of mushrooms they find and just show the tops of them. And it's like, I don't know. There's like 3 or 4 or 5 mushrooms that can look like that.
Okay.
But really, you got to take a picture of the top and the gills or the...
So we can just send you
pores.
like 4 views of the mushroom.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Everyone knows now. Send Kyle multiple views of the mushroom, and he'll tell you if it's good or not.
Yeah, or I was like, I don't know. Throw it out.
When in doubt, throw it out.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Money. Cool. All right. You're an outdoorsman. I pretend to be an outdoorsman. Our top 6 this week is top 6 places to camp in Michigan. Funny thing about this is legitimately Kyle will camp in a tent, and I just bought a 24-foot trailer.
Got to show both ways to camp, you know?
Right. So
Yeah.
it's going to be Kyle's going to glamp, or Kyle's going to camp, and Adam's going to glamp. But hey, who cares? That's fine, right?
It's whatever way you like to do it.
Exactly. You want to camp, you want to glamp, whatever. We got you covered, man. We got. I hit the button wrong. Anyways, all right.
You thirsty?
You want to hit it? Yeah, let's hit a beer. Hang on. Let's hit the sounder. There we go. All right.
Don't talk over the sound effect.
Ass. I told Kyle like he did not want to wear the headphones. I'm like, you just got to put one in, just so you can hear the sound effect. Because Matt always talks over them. He's like, okay. And then I talk over the sound effect myself. What are we drinking?
We are drinking the Black Creek, spelled Kriek, which just means cherry in Belgish.
Yes.
I believe the
We had,
languages.
this is probably last year around this time, one of the Sam Adams Creeks, actually. But yeah, continue.
Right on. So we take our Pharisee Stout, which are Irish. That's our Irish dry stout. We age it in oak barrels that previously could have held wine or bourbon, but that's all been washed out. We use those oak barrels as kind of a host for our wild bacteria that we get from Belgium. Grows into the wood, inoculates the beer, gives it that tart kind of flavor, and that marries perfectly with the Michigan Montmorency cherries that we put into the beer too. So actually, it spends about a year to a year and a half in the barrel before we add the cherry. Before we add the cherries, and then another couple months on the cherries, and then it's ready to drink.
That's smooth. I love the balance But like, I'm not a big. I love cherries. I love black cherries, like as the fruit itself.
Yeah.
I don't like just for example, cherry wheat beer. Like, I don't like it at all. That I think is like perfectly balanced. Is fantastic.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's unexpected for me anyway. Like sour stout is not a big thing that I gravitate towards. But what I like about this one is that cherry that's in there already has like a tartness to it. So
Yeah.
that makes that tartness natural and not like just doesn't clash as much with the malt. And I don't know, like you still get some really nice round chocolatey and coffee notes to it. That still match perfectly with that tartness and that cherry flavor as well. So, and it's a really natural cherry flavor because it's from real cherries.
Yeah, there's no medicinal flavor.
Right.
That's the one thing you get, like cherries and I guess it's probably cherries mostly in general. Like people are trying to do it with, but you get so medicinal. You get that Robitussin flavor.
Yeah.
And this has none of that at all.
Yeah, I get so sad when people get down on cherries, cherry flavor in beer. Because I think that happens too much in the industry where people are using like a cherry flavoring.
Oh yeah, 100%.
That just you can tell. Like, I guess they sell anyway, so like not everybody can tell. But
that's just it though. You can definitely tell. Like
for me,
you walk into it, even like not even a cherry fruit, but any fruit, like you can go and drink it, and if you're drinking enough of the same type of liquid, you will understand. Like what we're talking about here is the medicinal flavor, the sweetness behind it, the Robitussin flavor. I get that's what I literally tell everyone. I'm like, it's either medicinal or it's not.
Yeah,
and this is by no means medicinal.
And the good thing about it is it's only 5%. You got tons of flavor.
Money, we can drink this all night. Why don't you bring 2 bottles?
Because I brought 19 other bottles.
Oh, that's right.
Of different stuff.
All right, top 6. So we were doing our top 6, like I said. Kyle camps, I glamp. I'm okay with that.
Good. That's what works for you, man.
Exactly. Got a 24-foot trailer. Love it. We're going to talk about the top 6 places to camp in Michigan.
All right.
I will let you go first, my friend. And the best part about this, we have a sounder for each freaking number.
All right.
Number 6.
Number 6 for Kyle is the Whalen Lake state area. That's over in, I think it's just inside Oceana County. It's right on the Pere Marquette River. You can drive into it. I've only been there one time, and that was kind of recently during turkey hunting season. But it was cool. There was nobody else there. I'm sure it will be in the summer, like in peak season. But what I liked about it was that you're on top of this hill, and you can see the lake, which does have a boat ramp, which is important to some people. And then you can also hike a short distance and be on the Pere Marquette River,
nice.
Which is cool too. And actually, a couple of my spots revolve around the Pere Marquette River. But yeah, there was lots of little hiking trails, that's one reason why I like camping is the hike. I like to be in the woods. I like to be not in a spot where there's maybe 7 spots like with no trees in between us.
Right.
I like to feel
while you're like
right.
seclusion.
Like if I have a neighbor when I'm camping that's closer to my neighbor at my house, in the city,
right.
Then I'm like I feel like I'm not camping anymore. So that's a very important thing to me. So like I guess
there you go.
Yeah, for me camping is getting away, and I don't feel like I'm getting away if I have very close neighbors.
That works.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny because my number 6 is Metamora State Park. A lot of mine are state parks, actually. Probably most of them, actually. But
what do you like about it?
We always go there for Halloween camping. So I've been going there for 15 years. 15, maybe 20 years now. But there's a group of, I think the lowest we've had is 8. 8 to probably 16 to 20. And we get that many campsites together and just basically party.
That's different than having, because those kind of neighbors
right,
and you want to be there with,
right?
So
exactly.
you chose those neighbors.
Exactly.
That's completely different. Yeah,
like, we go in and like we make the camp reservations like 6 months in advance. Like, no, we need this site, this site, this site. You're getting this one. You're getting this one. This person's getting that one. and it's awesome.
Yeah,
but yeah,
no, that's fun.
That's the reason it is my number 6 because like, dude, I've been doing it for so long. Like,
Yep.
my kids are gonna grow up knowing that hey, in October we're gonna go freeze our asses off and camp, quote unquote, and we're gonna go in our trailer with a bunch of heat. But whatever.
No,
dude,
make it your own, man.
It's happening.
I love
dude.
it.
Like Jameson loves it. Lucas is gonna love it. So
That's
it's
all
awesome.
that matters.
It's awesome.
Yep. I love that.
Number 5.
Close. You almost got it. You
I was right
almost
on.
got it.
I was right on,
you're
wasn't
fine.
I?
You're fine. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
All right, number 5. Go for it.
My number 5 would be really 2-track anywhere, national forest. You
Okay.
can disperse camp. Like I said before, I guess I didn't say it. I said it in my head, but
You never said it.
I have to speak out loud in this. Like hand motions don't matter in the podcast. Also, internal thoughts don't matter. You got to tell people. So my theory with camping, like, and I used to do the state parks a lot, and just for me, like, I've had enough bad experiences where I won't go into them because we don't have time.
Mm-hmm.
But I told you some earlier,
Yeah.
when we were talking about it. But I just like to be in the woods, rustic camping, away from people, and I'm feeling like I'm discovering something new, even though I know I'm not the first person to ever step foot on that soil.
Right.
I like that kind of feeling. In Michigan, there's such a dense population that you don't really get that too often,
No,
as
not
opposed to
at
like
all.
out west in the mountains or whatever. But there's still really good camping out there. So like, I guess we're giving your listeners like 2 different ways you can approach camping.
No, that's a
And
good thing.
one of my favorites is to find a new place I've never been before. And I found one recently, also while turkey hunting, in the Newaygo area. It was like in a river bend. It was a small little pocket of Manistee National Forest that we could just drive back there, get close, and then you have to hike back in the rest of the way, but it's only like 0.2 miles, so it's easy to get kids
Nice.
there, easy to get some supplies there if you have to take like 2 trips.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was like a rope swing into the river. Didn't look like people had been there too often.
Right.
Only like 1 or 2 places that had previous campfires, so it's like, you know, how often does this get used? I kind of like that. You know?
Right. That's awesome.
I can kind of do what I want, like fuck around. Am I allowed to say that?
You kind of use it
All
whatever
right.
you want.
All right, cool.
Just don't say too much, but yeah, you're
Okay.
good. You're good.
Well,
You're good.
all right. So I didn't.
Shook. He's shook. He doesn't know what's going on now.
But I don't know. That's kind of my thing. Like I like to find new places. So
Yeah.
number 5.
That's
for me.
awesome. I'm gonna go in the complete opposite direction, and number 5, I put South Higgins Lake State Park.
I've heard that's good.
Yeah, it's been a state park we have gone to because I know you don't like state parks, but again,
Some of them can be good.
camper. We've gone there, 5, 6 times maybe now. But we just went back there actually this past weekend or 2 weekends ago. And it's just one of our like go-to spots. Like it's not far from our house. We can go up there. We can get away. There's a dog beach and it's like a beach where we can like take the kids still, like the sand and everything, rather than a lot of dog beaches are just just walk through some weeds and here you go. You can go pull your dog out there and whatnot. So yeah, no, that's why we like South Higgins. And, like, they got some big sites, some nice sites, and the views are nice there too. So
Yeah. I don't totally hate. Do you know where I had my bachelor party?
I do not.
Newaygo State Park.
No, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It was the middle of the week. I needed a spot that like I didn't have to worry about shuffling people around to this bar or that bar.
Right.
Or whatever. So like we played, there was like no campers. I mean, it was in July, but there was no campers. And it was right on the Muskegon River.
Nice.
We played Ultimate Frisbee for like 2 hours.
Nice.
And just jumped in the river. Drank a whole bunch of beer.
That's when we go to South Higgins. It's like we go to the weekends where like no one else is there. Like we
Yeah.
went this past weekend, and there were 20 people in the whole park. The park's 400 sites.
Yeah, that's when it's real fun.
It's like that's the nice part. Is like it's so quiet. It's just like it's so peaceful, and I don't know. It's so much better that way.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Fisherman's Island. That's up near Charlevoix.
Okay.
That's where the Might As Well Camp thing was born. Actually.
Might as well camp.
So I've camped there a few times now. It's one of the top ones for me because it's right on Lake Michigan, and who doesn't like camping there? But when you're camping there, like you can't see anything else. Like no other civilization, no other really lights from any other. And you're looking over a big expanse of water. You're seeing a little bit at the tip of the Old Mission Peninsula. You feel like you're the first one there.
That's
kind
awesome.
of thing. And you get driftwood for firewood. It's not really car camping, although your car is not too far away. And I might be giving away too much, but it's not in the official camping area.
That's okay.
It's a little off the beaten path,
It's all right.
but you might as well.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Might as well camp, right?
Yeah.
Might as well show
I've had
up
some
to a
like epic sunset pictures from there with campfires. I think I've seen wolf prints in the sand.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it's been
cool.
like 1 week when I first started this gig. I think it was my second summer working for Arbor. I ended up going up there right before the Charlevoix Beer Festival, which is the first week of June usually. And I worked the market for the whole week in a setting in a hotel. I just camped there. I brought my canoe, and showered in or bathed in Lake Michigan. It was cold. It was really cold, but I don't know. It was fun.
Might as well.
Might as well.
Might as well.
What's your number 5?
Harrisville State Park. It's about a half hour south of Alpena. You can actually camp right there. They have sites that back up right into right onto Lake Huron. So it's very nice. Wooded, nice. You get little flooding issues here and there, but nonetheless, no, it's nice over there, and no, it's a good area, and you're not completely far away from civilization. So
It's
but
nice to be able to go get supplies when you need
yeah,
to.
the thing I love most about like going up to like the northeast side of Michigan is like if you're 30 minutes from Alpena 1, you're 30 minutes from Alpena, so you're 30 minutes from wherever you need. But 2, you're 30 minutes, and you have no phone service in that area.
Yeah, that is a
Like-
nice thing sometimes.
Yeah, like we've gone up there, I think honestly probably once every the last 3 years, not necessarily to that part, but somewhere in that general vicinity. And dude, you lose everything, and it is fantastic.
Yeah.
Dude, I love like calling like where it's like, oh, where are you going this week? I'm like, I'm going out here, and I'm not gonna have phone service. See ya.
Yeah.
Hang up, and you're done.
And they don't
See
even
ya.
try.
No, you can't. You can't. It's done. It's over.
That's
Goodbye.
good.
Money.
Number 3.
Pictured Rocks.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah. I've only done it. I've only backpacked and camped one time, and that was right before I started at Arbor. The wife and I actually went. Here's a pro tip: go in October.
Really?
Yeah,
Dude, it's cold as balls in October.
in the UP. Yeah, sometimes, but I think we went like the first week of October. The leaves were beautiful. There was no. There was 0 mosquitoes.
Yeah.
0 ticks. We had warm enough bags to like keep us warm at night. The fire felt good because we backpacked, so like we did about 11 miles a day. So, 6 to 11 miles a day, depending on the day, and you weren't sweating as much, fewer bugs.
So you got to cuddle at night?
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Everyone likes to cuddle.
The stars were great. The fire was warm, and
The fire was warm.
fire was hot. But yeah, gotta do Pictured Rocks. And
That'd be good. That'd be fun.
But so you have to like reserve things ahead of time because it's such a popular hiking destination. So the campsites you have to reserve, and I think we did it a couple months in advance, but there was nobody else in our campsites.
That's awesome.
Because it was in
awesome.
October instead of the summer.
I'm sure the views are fantastic
Yeah.
up there.
Yeah, killer.
100%. My number 3, Sleeper State Park over there in Caseville. I actually have a lot of history over going to Caseville. My grandma actually used to have a cottage there. So we
Cheeseburger Festival?
Cheeseburger
Yes,
Festival. You
I did that
betcha,
one
man.
time.
Dude, that's a good time.
Yeah.
Man. You wanna overpay for a cheeseburger? You go to Cheeseburger Festival.
Hell yeah.
Jesus. But yeah, no, we've been going up there now. That's kind of where our family reunion is, and it's awesome because all the kids that go up there and the cousins and whatnot, and I don't know, it's a good time. We all reminisce. Like, we actually drove by the old cottage, a few times now, but It's just nice going back there and seeing everything. And
Yeah.
whatnot, so.
And there's one song that gets played constantly.
Oh yeah,
over and over.
Jimmy Buffett, baby.
Yeah,
That's all it is. It's Jimmy Buffett town.
the one year I went, it was just torrential downpour. It was 2007 when I went, and it was just downpour the entire time. But I had the best time. It was so much fun. I had a brand new tent, so it wasn't leaking very much at that point.
That's funny. I think I've thrown a 10 or 2 out there.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that happens there. Yeah.
Son of a...
Number 2.
All right. I'll go first here, number 2. Since you got such better stories than I do. Number 2, I picked Burt Lake. I think the first time we went to Burt Lake State Park, I was probably 7 or 8. We came through, and we'd always go up to Eagle Harbor, Copper Harbor, that area, the UP. If anyone doesn't know, literally top of the UP, man. Go check it out. It's freaking God's country. It's an awesome drive. Don't go over the speed limit, though. You do get pulled over. Personal experience. Anyways, Burt Lake is about 25 minutes south of Mackinac City. It's awesome. It's a good park. A little walk to the beach, but it's a nice beach, good lake, clean. It's a good time, man.
Is that one of those deep lakes that hold like trout and stuff like that? Yeah. I've heard about
there's
that
a
lake.
lot of good rivers off there, actually.
Good fishing.
I've gone fishing on the rivers and stuff over there. Dude, like I said, I've been going there for years. So it's a good time.
Nice. What are we on? Number 2?
Number 2.
This is Bowman Lake. I can't believe I'm sharing this with people because this place is so cool. You can go there on 4th of July. Well, they don't take reservations because it's just you hike in about half a mile. It's near Baldwin. It's a little pro tip for anybody that wants to do off the grid camping. This has been one of my go-to spots for probably my main go-to spot for the last 5 or 6 years. Because you have to hike in, so that keeps a lot of the crowds away. Mm-hmm. We've done opening day of deer season. We've done there, and not even hunting deer. We're just fishing.
Nice.
And not seen a soul. So like there is actually 4th of July. Like there's only 4 spots, so like you have to have a backup plan. So if you hike in there, there's a big lake there. Well, not big. It's this big pond, I should say. But it's like really clear, good bass fishing.
Nice.
And good hiking trails around it. I've taken my kids there, really young kids, and they've made the hike. Granted, I had to do another like 2 or 3 of those half-mile trips back and forth just to get all their deer in there to make them comfortable. But had some great memories there. My son caught his first bass there, and it was a decent-sized one, and the kids wanted to cook it over the fire, and they don't like to eat fish, so I'm like, are you serious? You're gonna try to eat fish? So I went through I didn't have a fillet knife.
Right.
I was like with a little pocket knife just trying to make this thing work. It was terrible. Like it's getting dark. It's time for them to go to bed. I'm like, but if they're into trying this, I really want them.
You gotta do it now.
I want them to have this experience bad that I'm like, I'm willing to go through this. So like, I'm gonna go through this, and they're not gonna want to touch it, know. And like they couldn't stop raving about how good this fish was. I didn't have any seasoning with me. I didn't have any butter. You need butter for these things.
You need butter for everything.
Yeah, you need. Didn't have any of that because we were just like, we're gonna go basic. And they had the best experience, and that's what
awesome.
Doing this kind of stuff is, right?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it's about those experiences, and to this day they think bass is like the creme de la creme of fish, like largemouth bass. Like, does anybody even eat largemouth bass? My kids, don't tell them, don't ruin it for them. It's better than salmon. It's better than halibut. It's better than trout. Like, it's
it's the creme de la creme of fish.
Yeah.
Largemouth bass.
Yeah, Bowman Lake.
Don't anyone ruin that for them.
Don't.
All right, what are we drinking now?
What I'm pouring for you right here is the Pesches and Regalia.
Okay.
This is another one of our barrel-aged sours. A lot of people don't know we were the first brewery in Michigan to do sours, intentionally at least. Is when we started our program was 2000. After the founders, Matt and Renee, took a trip to Belgium, fell in love with that style, and actually brought their favorite sours back to Michigan in bottles. And then since it's a living beer, just dumped those into St. Julian wine barrels and let those barrels be hosts to the wild organisms that were in those sour beers, grow into the wood, and inoculate these beers. So we have a really nice tradition with our sours. This is a golden ale that we age again for a little over a year, and then age it with peaches, like finish it with peaches for about 3 months.
Nice.
So it's tart, it's sour. You get it right in your jaws, where you feel the sour note when you take a sip for the first time, especially. But then has that really refreshing peachiness. Good probiotics in sours like this.
Yeah, I could drink. That's crushable.
Yeah, again, it's a light ABV sour. I believe it's about 6%, 5%, 6%. It might pick up.
I hope
some
you brought 2
incremental-
bottles.
Nope.
Son of a...
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
That
this-
is honestly one of the best beers I've ever had.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had it at, I think it took a bronze this year at World Expo, which
Okay.
surprised me because, I don't know, thought it was pretty good. But we had it pouring at World Expo beer
Nice.
all weekend, so I'm sure a lot of people in the area got to try it.
Love it. Love it. All right, let's go to number 1.
Number 1.
So number 1 for me is a lot like what you were talking about earlier, where it's that go-to spot, that party spot, like it does everything for you. It's a spot that I call Four Corners, actually, with my friends. It's in Cadillac, just outside of Cadillac, by Lake City. It's 160 acres that my buddy's dad owns. He doesn't have multiple dads.
You sure?
But that would be okay if he did. He's Mormon. I don't think he's allowed to. But so his dad ended up moving out of state for work, and we didn't let him sell it. We're just like, we'll lease it for like the tax money or whatever. It's like we've started leasing it in the last year or two. We use it for deer hunting. We use it for winter camping, which is a good tradition every year.
Nice.
We usually get a few vehicles stuck, get really drunk, take chainsaws, make a bonfire, burn about a quart of wood in a day,
Nice.
kind of thing. But yeah, that's just one of those memory spots where you're like, we want to build, a little rustic cabin there, like take our kids there,
Right,
you know,
right.
show them the outdoors, like give them some experiences in the process, and yeah, like had some friends shoot their first deers out there, and
That's awesome.
Deer out there.
Deers.
We're almost through the whole lineup.
We're almost.
Yeah.
How many we got left?
I think there's just one that there's 2.
2. Okay.
There's 2. So
We'll scoot through these.
deers and beers.
Deers and beers. I put Tawas, dude. I love the
Yeah.
Tawas State Park. Out there on Peninsula. I don't know. It's out there. It's fun. It's exciting. You get the best of both worlds. Like saying like you're out there and you get the beach and everything, and they got a good dog beach because obviously I got a dog. But you still got the city life right there if you want to go into anything and visit and whatnot. And they got some cool shops and stuff over there. So that's my number 1. I love Tawas. No. And again, it's close. That's one thing I look at. Like, dude, I'm pulling a trailer, dude. I'm not going too far.
Yeah, it's really important to sometimes have that go-to that's close. Where you want to...
You have to.
Because, like, sometimes, like, get planning to go for 3-4 hours away and then coming back and then cleaning up and get ready for work on Monday is just too much.
You figure if you're going 3-4 hours away, your Friday's shot.
Yeah.
You got Saturday. You got Sunday morning. You got to leave late morning, early afternoon. You're getting home dinner time, and it's like, okay, great. Now, oh wait, I have to do all the laundry.
Yeah.
And like get ready for the week.
Yeah.
Like say what? So yeah, no, I am all about those sub 2 hour trips.
Yeah.
And
you always have, and I meant to put one of those in in this list. Yeah, basically all these are about 2 hours away or more. I had one that was close, but I guess we didn't do a top 7.
No, you should. No, we did not.
But you have to. I think it's really important to have one of those. Get outdoors, get away for the weekend, but it's almost like a staycation, but not quite.
Yeah.
It doesn't take a lot of effort, right?
Exactly. It's one of the ones. Hey, throw everything in there, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll make it. So
yeah, I actually am kind of jealous of that camper. It looks pretty sweet.
Dude, you want to go look at it?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
And then like you can probably just put all of your stuff in there. So it's like, hey, should we just hook it up and go? And you need like a couple things. Like you need a beer cooler and that's it.
Like I plug it in, go grocery shopping. And it's like, oh, just put it in the camper, and then it's like, okay.
Yep.
And throw that in the camper and that in the camper. All right, hook it up. Go. See you. Bye. Money.
Love it.
Love it. All right. Question of podcast results are in. Pizza won. Pizza won by one. Pizza won by one.
Ooh.
Tacos or pizza? What do you got?
For me, it's tacos. But it was really difficult because those are probably the two food groups that I've consumed the most in my life.
Well, I don't want
to continue to.
I don't want to ask questions that are easy.
Good. No, that's a great one.
We're doing research here, but no, I'm totally a pizza guy. Like I love my tacos. Don't get me wrong. I'm all about the taco, but I'm all about pizza a little bit more.
Yeah.
Yep.
I guess the reason why I chose taco because I went back and forth with him like, yeah, taco, and then it was like, oh wait, it's pizza though, and I just ate pizza last night, and I think I ate it 3 times this week, and I still love it. You know.
See, I haven't had pizza in a while, so maybe that's part of it. It's like,
okay,
I'm really craving the pizza.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can't go wrong. Do pizza or tacos?
You can't go wrong.
Winner.
Yeah.
Pizza and taco dinner.
But I think the reason why I went taco because you can do like fish taco, you can do, the beef or the chicken.
Oh yeah.
And you can do that with pizza too. But like you can make it so much more.
But I feel like you got pizza, and then you got like specialty pizza.
Right.
Like tacos are more interchangeable on the same spectrum.
Right. You can.
Pizza's like one or the other.
Yeah, I think what's cool about it is that you can like have people over for tacos, and you don't have to ask them what you want on your taco.
Oh,
you can just put all the things out there,
exactly,
and then they can just put it in as
make your own taco. Damn it!
Right.
Hence what I did with the quesadillas earlier. I was like,
exactly. Yeah, just like that.
Everything's out there. Just make your own quesadilla. Turn the stove on. You're fine.
Yeah. And I guess personally, with pizza, which I eat a lot, but I seem to be more basic when I order my pizza or when I make my pizza. I tend to do the same thing typically more often than with a taco, where I'll switch it up with either the meat or the style or whatever, or the toppings. Yeah, so,
for sure.
So that's why in the end I had to go with taco, the losing side, by one vote.
That's all right. It happens. All right, subscribe, rate, listen, give us a review. We'll read it on there. Anywhere you listen to podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere. Reach us by email, mattmuse@gmail.com. Call or text 989-372-1391, 993-722-1391. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, mattmuse, mattmuse.com. We will be back next week. Maybe Matt will be. We don't know. We'll find out. Come hang out and we'll let us know.
Time that right?
Thank God that's